How everybody doing? Chris Drummond from Progressive Action. I know haven't done a live in a while, and I probably wouldn't do one today, but this contract and all this foolishness, I felt compelled to make a live. And even though I wrote a lot of paperwork, I might read from some of it. Everything that's going on is crazy. But you know what bothers me the most about all this? Is the pay. The fact that we didn't get no hazard pay. And if you talk to anybody in the union, outside the union, the activists at the union, they always say that everybody has a short memory at transit. But everybody who can hear my voice or watching this later, is you out your mind. And I know you didn't. I don't think any of us should ever forget what we went through starting in February of 2020, and our pain really beginning with the murder of our brother Goebbels. Don't forget what this company did to us. First of all, they manipulated us. You remember? We were supposed to get 25 grand, or $13 more an hour hazard pay. Como even said that we deserve 50%, a 50% raise for what we was doing during COVID. But that was game. That was manipulation. And we also had a union that didn't say a word about hazard pay. Never said nothing. They didn't stomp. They didn't go out there and campaign. If they campaign, I read this somewhere, and I'm co-opting that, I'm quoting that. If they campaign for us getting COVID hazard pay, like they doing for us to sign this, vote yes on this contract, we probably would have hazard pay. And it's crazy that they give us this $3,000, and I say 3,000 because you won't even feel that 1,000 the next year. All these platitudes and all this praise we got, and they used us. And this union didn't. And let's talk about this union. This union, everybody's saying, don't pay your dues. I don't agree with that. I'm reading decertify the union. But we got to come to grips. We have to, all of us would wish that we had a real union. We don't have a real union. They are not fighting for RTO and stations. And a lot of our brothers in other departments who don't want to play ball with them. But don't forget, this hazard pay. We lost too many people. We had you remember that? What we went through, I always say this, what we went through. We went through with our family. Think we was going to die. The psychological consequences that we worked with psychologically. We was working with the fact that we might die. The people that was here today and gone tomorrow. The discipline initially that they threatened us with if we wore a mask. The fact that at 180, 130, and 2 Broadway, they didn't work. The fact that they didn't want to shut down the railroad. The fact that the union didn't push them to shut down the railroad. The fact that we gave everything we had and the union comes back with $4,000, $3,000. Like there was something specific to us. Like trans was unique. They got us some real money. I heard somebody say this should be called Hochul 100. The way they move, they got us nothing. We got what everybody else got. We got what the governor was giving out to everybody. She was giving out the Ma and this 3-4 grand like somebody giving out candy in Halloween for trick or treat. This union did nothing for. This union does nothing for. This union is corrupt. Richie Davis going to terminals, being kind. A sister said that she didn't like the contract. Our president said you shouldn't work here then. So what kind of president we got? Somebody was talking about the Easy Pass and all that. Our president said, well, maybe you should move to Long Island. He lived out of state. This is the type of people we got repping us. We don't have a union. We gotta learn, we have to represent ourselves. This is a fact. This is and you got Canelo Gomez still walking around the system? This dude acting like nothing happened? And like I said before, he gonna give out big screens and P5s, and we supposed to forget about that? What are we, kids? What are we? That they think that this guy can walk around us after what he did. Like we don't have no morals? We don't have a sense of what's right and wrong? We don't have the right to say that he's not fit to represent us no more? But this is the truth. This union don't care what we think. This union don't care what we think. And to my brothers and sisters in RTO, remember the reps that didn't vote. Now I gotta respect the people who was man enough or woman enough to the officers. I don't know if there's any women officers right now, but the officers who said, I'm voting yes, I support Canelo. You gotta respect that. They took positions. The ones that voted abstained, the ones who abstained and didn't vote, remember that. When they come around to want your signature, and when looking for the vote, remember them members in RTO that wasn't man enough to take a vote, wasn't man enough to take a position, a moral position. And you talk about stand for nothing. This guy people calling me. At Pelham, they give him a party or something. Pelham Bay, they give him a party. Canelo calling him, asked him, can he come? Can he bring some TVs? Can he bring some goodies? Can he bring anything that's going to mask or cover up what he did? He think it's going to cover up what he did. But had we no shame? Had this union had no shame? No accountability? We supposed to any other position anywhere, union or otherwise, and you shatter the member's leg, you would be gone. You would be forced to step down if you didn't have the integrity and good sense to just step down. This dude walking around like it was nothing. And this union, more importantly, this union leadership is letting him walk around like nothing happened. Think about him. He got the nerve, the unmitigated gall, the arrogance to come into crew rooms and talk to us. Like he didn't violate our trust. And this the union. They have no respect for us. They have no respect for us. Think about now. They go into every terminal, every depot, every shop to push this contract, but there was no transparency during the contract. They didn't come and ask for our input. They didn't ask us. They didn't go back. That's what transparency is, letting us know what's going on. Transit want this. They coming at us like that. There was none of that. The mass meeting, a meeting. If you had the meeting, there's some give or take, some back and forth. Nobody spoke at the mass meeting. They didn't want to hear from us. They was trying to manipulate us to believe that this is just a union that is just fighting and propping up politicians. So politicians can give us our spill, their rhetoric. They don't care what we think. They had any respect for us, Canelo would be at 195 Montague Street and he wouldn't come out of there. How dare them prance this man around us like he's worthy, like we respect him. Who respect? I saw a sister the other day who supported. I saw her in Target. We was talking. She in the 8th Division conducting. She supported Canelo during the campaign. Canelo was her guy. And she said, there's things I like about Canelo. But after he did that, he showed no. She said, I could have went with him after. She said, I could have rocked with him after everything happened. If he stepped up like a leader and spoke about what happened, what transpired, what he couldn't talk about, but tried to bring us together, not take a picture the next day. Canelo has no remorse. Because if we have a president who's telling members that maybe you should work somewhere else, or telling members who ask for Easy Pass, who live in Connecticut, take Metro North, that maybe you should move to Long Island. That's leadership. That at least in management, I can tell you this. There's some, and God bless these managers I'm about to speak about, who absolutely want to help the membership, who absolutely want to help train operators, conductors, flaggers, and tower operators. Help them out and address their needs and treat them with respect and dignity. And who will tell you they don't like how things are going at transit. And these managers, they make a sacrifice because these managers know they're not going anywhere. They know they're going to always be TSSs. They know they always are going to be deputy soups. They know they are always going to be, they're never going to advance in this company because they give a damn about us. And they take a position. And they take a position as men and women to be people of integrity, to show some care and some concern and respect, and take a stand, regardless of the consequences it is to their career. And there are managers like that. There are superintendents, TSSs, and deputy soups who feel that way, who care about us. In the union, they won't, nobody's taking a position. Who's taking a position? How many officers have said to you, Canella has to go? How many officers came to meeting and said, voted, he has to step down? How many officers took a stand, a position, a moral stand? And that's what it is. A moral stand against the deplorable, disgusting behavior of Canella Gomez. None. Remember, don't have that short memory. Remember, that day's gonna come. And you ask them, what was your vote? When there was a vote, when they put up a vote to remove Canella Gomez, how did you vote as an officer? And shame on them. Shame on them. So scared. Some of these officers, some of these released reps, it's a scared, unfortunately, it's a scared of the union, is some of us are management. And that's sad. If they ain't gonna, listen, we are in trouble, but we're in denial. You know, I was reading up what denial mean. Deny, like we got a coping mechanism with this. Denial. Denial, it occurs when you refuse to accept reality of facts. People in denial may block external events or circumstances from the mind so they don't have to deal with the emotional impacts. In other words, they avoid painful feelings or events. That's what we're doing right now. We in denial how transit don't give a damn about us. When those say, yo, everybody have these problems, no, everyone don't have problems. We like coal miners. We work underground, hundreds of feet underground. Toxic air that we breathe in for 25 and 30 years. I say it all the time. This job is not like any job. We just had a dispatcher a few weeks ago on the platform ranting and raving like a madman. What did management do to them? What did management? We got complaints against supervisors. It takes months for management to act. And you know what it is? Transit know what's going on. Davey know what's going on. Creslow know what's going on. You know what they thinking? That terminal's on time. As long as he get the job done, we don't care how he gets the job done. Just get the job done. Let's bring these trains in on time. And you know why they get away with that philosophy? Because we got a weak union. We got a union that don't hold management accountable. Are you in denial about that? Do you feel protected? Do you feel protected by this union? This union that got us $4,000, they was offering 25. They didn't have the decency to give us $5,000. The decency. And I'm gonna give you another indication that Canella was compromised, that he don't, example, that he's compromised and he don't fight for us. A few weeks ago, he took a poll, but he asked a question. He said, transit wants us to conductors to wear body cams. How do you feel about that? How do I feel about that? What you should have put there, Canelo Gomez, is how dare Transit come to us about wearing body cams. 3,500 body cams, let's say. Let's say 3,000. I think it's more like 3,500, but let's say 3,000 conductors. They willing to spend that money, but only give us 4,000? And you talking about ain't no givebacks? Why would you come to us with that? Why would you even ask us about that foolishness about us wearing body cams? But think about the evilness, the wickedness of this. Transit don't want to, they say that Transit and Hochul don't have no money to give us hazard pay, but they want to spend thousands more on body cams for us. They want to pay money for us to incriminate ourselves, and we got the VP that asking us that foolishness. He basically this was responsive, basically saying, well, if you complain about station agents getting $1 more, making more, well, put on some body cams. We get you some more money. This is their solution. This is the type of VP. What else he gonna say? He ain't balking at Transit. He got nothing to say about Transit. Canelo Gomez, he's ruined his reputation with management. Nobody's getting past what he did. But he thinks in the union, Richie Davis, the one, and let me get, I'm all over the place. I ain't made a lot from it. They said something about snitching. Canelo called the cops. Canelo, I don't remember. Canelo called the cops. He didn't call the ambulance. He called the cops. And Richie Davis made a comment to the press and said, Trammell attacked, sucker punched. That's his term he used. Sucker punch Gomez. And he said Gomez. That's not snitching? From a president? That's like another fish calling another fish wet. They have the audacity to say anything about snitching? The union, which is unprecedented. The union called the cops on the member. RVP assaulted the member, then called the cops. He thought that was his out. He tried to weaponize the cops for his use. It backfired on him. And then our president, who did something so unpresidential, it ain't funny. Then he snitched to the press. And it ain't even snitch because he didn't know what was going on. All he knew was he wanted to incriminate a dues paying member. So when you talk about snitching, think twice about making that accusation. It's absurd. When you're called the cops. When you made these statements, incriminating statements to the press. That's the definition of snitching. So watch. But this is the union. This is our union. And we got to do something. They're not working for us. They're not working for us at all. And then when they act like more dedicated announcers was something we should be proud of in the contract, that wasn't negotiable. That's nothing. Us getting acknowledged for doing our jobs, that's something to negotiate. Damn, the bar ain't that high anymore. And let me say this. I say this about the managed care. It's a business. It speaks for itself as managed. And they say, yes, know what's going to happen? Doctors, when we have doctors who are out of the network, that's what they're going to do. They're just going to go out the network. The insurance company, when you look at your bill, the hospitals charge you $5,000. The insurance company pays $1,700. What you think Aetna trying to do? All these things are owned by hedge funds. Big Wall Street's involved with the healthcare industry right now. They in it to make money. Not to mention they have our information. It's worth it right there for them to do some type of deal with the union. They got the information. Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, they make money off our information. Not when we check our credit score and pay them that $19.95, whatever. We got that monthly plan, that monitoring plan. No. So Aetna has our information. They're making money off us. And yes, they will decide what's done for us, what procedures that they give the green light to, and what doctors are going to do. They're gonna stay away from Aetna like the plague. That's the doctor's right, not to accept the plan. So if Aetna ain't paying them nothing, because Aetna don't want to pay them nothing, that's where the problem is going to be. But even that, you won't go there. The union didn't have enough respect for us to say, listen, let's just talk. Let's talk. You know, go around the barns and the bus depots and the crew rooms and say, this is the reality, brothers and sisters. This is where we at. We did the best we can. This is the realities of what's going on. They don't care about us like that. They don't care about our input. If they cared about our input 1 hour older, Canelo Gomez would not be going around crew room. He would not be around the system. He would not be trying to attend parties and give parties. He would not be trying to have a venue, have anywhere, a platform to give out TVs. First of all, who don't have a big screen TV? First of all, and listen, the PS5, I get to take the gifts. Take it. You deserve it. But he's just trying to bribe you, which is very disrespectful. Like none of us have our own opinion. Like none of us have the right to voice our views. Where's the democracy here? Where's the democracy been at Local 100 for years? Where is it? You appointed Richie Davis was VP of Mastoa. They made him chief of staff to former President Utano. Then they make him Treasury Secretary. Then they make him president. Same thing with Chiarello. He's the secretary, Treasury Secretary now. Same thing with Richard initially. Nelson Rivera passes, God rest his soul. And they make Richard. That's all they do is move to pieces. We don't vote no more. They do what this could be Russia for all we know. No, where's the democracy? I'm exaggerating with the Russia reference. But where's the democracy though? They just doing what they want. During the election process, not one person from Stand United got disqualified during the election. We know who they disqualified. So many people got disqualified. And during the election, they was even saying we had a meeting with I forget the guy running it. He's right with them, telling us we couldn't find out. They put a plant there that we was gonna run with us. And I told Evangeline it was a plant. Raul was like, nope, don't go that way. This person said, everybody know their meetings. This person didn't know the meetings. How many meetings they had. So we went, I forget the brother's name. We went to him and said, listen, we want to check. He going to tell us we can't check the meetings. We couldn't check how many meetings this person had. Sure enough, the slate was blown up for Raul, Michelle, and the other person we was going to have running with us. It blew up. Because their people run this whole process. The Labor Department is a joke. The Labor Department is a joke. What they let this union get away with. This union is corrupt. I'm proof that it's corrupt. And Eric and Canella, they went up there. I think they went up there with some good attention at first. But somebody told them, yo, we don't do it like that up here. Now, that ain't how it goes. And all of a sudden, they would Stand United. No independence. That's where no independence. You could be sure that one thing about what you, and again, I said it a million times. The same thing you see Tremel doing, you go like this, goddamn, bruh, come on, don't say that, don't do this, whatever. I'm the same way. But that brother ain't breaking for them. And that's why he ran into it. That's why what happened. Break is a bad word to use, but that's why they tried to stop him. They tried to nullify him. That's what they tried. And listen, now, how can this guy be, so what? He's intimidated? And please, brothers and sisters, dare him to put hands on anybody, because he tries to walk around like a bully. Because even before this happened, he was bullying members. He was talking greasy to members. He was disrespectful to members. He was condescending. Remember he made that video? Y'all disturbing me while I'm eating my rice. You remember some of the videos he made? When he said laughable, his last live, he was being condescending to the membership. And he was saying things like, for the last time. And we want to ask 1,000 questions. We asked 1,000 questions. But that man has the wrong temperament to be a VP. That man is not a leader. And he didn't want, and they didn't demand, this union didn't demand he show some leadership, because we have a president with no leadership who walks around here trying to bully folks. The president. And who exercises sarcasm and condescending when the dues paying member asks a question concerning his life and his future. We're all going to retire one day. Saying about them and talk about our union caring about retirees. You know our brothers and sisters who was there in the heart of COVID, February 2020, 21, 22. They're not getting no money. They're not getting no hazard pay. Talk about you care about retirees. You're not breaking bread with brothers and sisters who came to work every day, who was dedicated and professional, and who lost people they worked with 10, 15, 20 years, who died from COVID, and they get nothing. They don't even get that punk $4,000. They don't get that. They care about us. How could they? Come on. How could any you feel like they advocating for us? You feel like they fighting for us? You feel confident when you getting on your bus and train? Are you in station agents, cleaners? That they're fighting for you? You know they ain't. And they gonna say Drummond, all bark, all bite. Drummond put his money where his mouth is. And Transit is watching right now. I got a case of 2 bro. I'm not taking nothing. I'm not taking nothing. I'm not taking nothing. And if I'm not, and I put my money, they cut my time. They been cut my time because I'm not doing platform. I'm not jeopardizing my life. My kids ain't gonna. I don't want my kids to hear nothing happen to their father while he was down there. So I'm not doing. When I say I'm not doing platform by myself, I don't do platform by myself. And they take their money, whatever discipline they have to do, let them do it. Because I'm a man first. I care about my life. Ain't no job worth my life. And everything I said, I tried to stand by. Drummond, yeah, what Drummond? Yeah, Drummond go out there. And Drummond takes a stand. Do y'all? Do you officers take a stand? Did y'all take a stand when y'all was out there? What y'all stand for? I don't get off this live and then go out there and something else. I'm not doing platform. I stand by that. If you want to say that, I always stood for our safety. There's archive films of me standing up for our safety and my brothers and sisters, regardless of my union title. It's about what's right. Do we care about what's right? Canelo Gomez is walking around here like he did nothing. Like he's VP of the year. Like he was in New Orleans during the contract negotiation. Like he wasn't barred from coming on the property during the contract negotiation. Like he had some credibility with management. Like he didn't shame us. And this union allows it. Not only do they allow it, they condone it. They support it. This is the union we have, and we got to do something. We got to do something. We don't trust them. I don't trust them. I don't trust them, and you shouldn't trust them. I don't trust them. And how can we? They sell us out at every turn. They was there. Do y'all remember, Preston, how many? Y'all remember any commercials about us getting hazard pay? Was there any protests about us getting hazard pay? Did they do any board meeting about us getting hazard pay? Did Canelo bring up hazard pay? Did Eric Legal bring up hazard pay? Did they give a damn? Did they ever say shut the system down? Did they think? Your memory can't be going think. I'll wait. Play the Jeopardy clock in your head. That sound. That music. Did they ever 1 minute fight for us? They didn't want to fight. Other unions came out when the vaccine came out. Other unions said, we don't agree with our members' position in regard to not taking the vaccine, but we support them. Did we get that? Did you see, where was the commercials on hazard pay? It was $1,600 for a 30-second spot on 1010 Wednesday on the radio. They didn't pay for that. And then they come to us with $3,000 for that. Like it was like they did that. That was some real. They rolled their sleeves up and they was really negotiating. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. They say there was no give back. There was no fight. Never got the chance to get the give back because y'all remember they did 2 or 3 protests. And that was it. Oh, we knew the contract was coming. Everything. It was radio silence. That hazard pay. Como said, well, give me a minute. Just give me a minute. If I find it, I find it. If I don't, I don't. But Como said, what did he say? Como, I think I said it earlier. Como said, I'm not even using it. Oh, yeah, it was. Who was it? Como called on federal government. What was the game? The feds was giving us no money to pay frontline workers with a 50% bonus. Pay them what they deserve. And originally, Schumer said, proposed $25,000 for workers earning less than $200,000 per year, and $5,000 for those earning more than $200,000. Remember, $13 more hour. Remember that game? You remember what they did to cajole us and to trick us? And the union never made them hold to that. Never. Never. Remember that? We felt good for a minute. Hazard pay. We actually, they had us going. They probably had us going. Everybody thought we was getting hazard pay maybe 6 months ago. Yeah, possibly. I know it was a lot of us saying we never getting hazard pay. Unfortunately, you was right. But they never, for then you come back to us with $4,000, like we didn't die. Like we wasn't scared. While we wasn't sleeping in our cars. While we wasn't scared for our families. While we wasn't crushed and heartbroken by losing our friends down here, our colleagues and co-workers. And you come to us with this contract of nothing. And then you're trying to go from term to term. I saw them the other day at Coney Island with a bunch of probationaries. That desperate? Either we for it or against it. They go on the probationaries. They got people they got on paid release going to bars and all that. Yeah, for the contract, whatever they say. And so it's nauseating to me. So we really have to think. We got to come up with something. This union does not give a, they do what they want. They do what they want. And expect us to eat it. We do eat it. There's nowhere in hell. We don't want Canelo Gomez representing us no more. But they do what they want. They don't care. Maybe they don't even see what he did. Obviously, they don't think he did nothing. We don't deserve anybody with respect. And we don't deserve anybody who respects the office of VP. We don't deserve anybody who treats the membership, our brothers and sisters, with dignity and respect. We don't deserve that. We nothing. Who are we to say we want somebody dignified and somebody that cares about us represent us? Who are we that want that? Who are we to want somebody we respect representing us as our vice president? Who is we? We voted Eric out. He's doing induction classes for RTO now. We voted him out. I saw him the other day looking like a maid running around 195. We voted him out. They talk about don't care about the will of the people. We got a union, and it's sad to say this. Because again, I respect unionism. I support unionism. I'm all for unionism. And I'm all for them making shortcuts too. But they gotta be doing it for us. They don't work for us anymore. They work for themselves. They just want to stay in power. That's it. Look around you. Look around you. Ain't no less discipline than it was before. Ain't nothing stop with that. Transit doing what they want. And then asking us, do we want? Then we got our VP asking us, how we feel about wearing body cams? He didn't say, you believe this? The MTA have the nerve to ask us after they refuse to give us hazard pay, to recognize our hard work and contributions, to move in this city and keeping the world going. They didn't have respect for us to give us even 5,000 at least. Now they want us to wear body cams so we can so we can shoot ourselves in the foot, so we can incriminate ourselves, so customers could customers gonna know we got cameras. They can say, they can walk up to a body cam and say, "Why you hit me? Why did you hit me with the doors? Why did you threaten me?" They can do anything they want in front of them cameras. And we got our VP ask us, do we want to wear? Instead of saying, how dare them ask us? We got a company that wants to spend money on body cams, that don't want to give us hazard, but saying they can't give us hazard pay? Come on. Richie Davis, Canelo Gomez, they both have to go. Neither one of them is fit. Richie Davis never. The fact that he said what he said about to make him unfit. The fact that he's going around trying to condescend and belittle the membership. And I'm going to tell you something. President Utano never did that. Say what you want. I've been with him. I went with him to turn loose. And a lot of us were saying a lot of things that was very rude and disrespectful. And he conducted himself like a president. So did Samuelson from what I saw. So did Kia from what I saw. Joe did the best he can. I don't remember Joe being disrespectful. But we got the VP that's going around, assault members. We had VP before he saw Trent. He called me. Anybody want to see the phone? He called me and threatened me. He told me to come. Thank God I didn't. He told me, I'm in your turf. Like it's the was again. I'm on Rockaway Boulevard. He asked somebody where I'm at. I don't know who that person is. Yeah, come out there and see me. This the VP. This before he did that to Tramiel. He's had this temperament with a lot of our members. He tried to fight Jose Melendez one time. Eric, you remember that? Jose's man. You remember he tried to attack Jose Melendez? You remember that? So you remember all the people he got on Facebook and said, yo, you want to say, see me, I see you. Keep that energy. He likes saying that. Keep that energy when I see you. This is the VP. This is the VP that our union deems fit to represent us. This is a union that's trying to shove a contract, not dialogue, not transparency, not taking the time to go to every goddamn crew room, depot, barn, and talk to us about the impending contract and let us know what's going on with the negotiation. No, they didn't do that. Now, because they say it's rain and piss, they're going to tell us it's spring water? What a union. Unions are supposed to protect us. They're supposed to advocate. Don't even talk about what happened to Sis at Bedford Park. That's another thing. I'm glad I remembered that. This union should have been at One Police Plaza. You got all these union release officers coming to terminals. You should have been at One Police Plaza. We should have protests about them two officers that disrespect. They treated Sis like she was inhuman. Like they didn't give a damn. If you look at the video, they're trying to get at her. Like she didn't have her. Sis could have been murdered. She's scared to death, and she see cops. She think help has arrived. And they think so little of her. They think so little of her position, her uniform, her color. I don't know what it was. I won't put it on color. But they think so little of women and transit workers that they let a criminal go. They took the word of a criminal, a tax-paying, hard-working conductor, transit worker. They let them go. That's how little they think of us. And the union, what did the union do? They should have got at the police commissioner. They should have got at the precinct commander. They should have said, yes, we meeting at one police plaza. We meeting at City Hall. We're going to make them answer some questions. We're going to make sure, that the officers are accountable. These are their union brothers. They didn't go to the PBA and talk to them about it. That was that. This what kind of union we got? So what, you said a press conference, sis was doing all the talking? That's that. And transit, don't forget transit. Remember that businessman punched sis in the face, assaulted sis. Management didn't say nothing. Tim Minton didn't say nothing. Lieber, this is his ilk. That was an investment banker. That was his people. That's who he caroused with. They transit didn't say nothing about that. The union didn't push transit about that. They act like they care about our assaults. What? Would they allow management? Would they allow PD? Listen, we all support. I support NYPD. I don't have nothing again. I don't listen when they do something they ain't supposed to. They held accountable. But there's some good cops out there. Let's put it this way: there's some good cops out there. So I'm not trying to paint all of them with a broad brush, but there got to be some accountability, and nobody's holding them accountable. Like Tramel says, we see them. They in crew rooms sleeping. They up on platforms on their phones, and then to the officers watching. You, society, makes a lot of allowances for officers. Y'all have a dangerous job. Y'all supposed to be superheroes. But y'all retire in 22 years. Y'all get $12,000 a year in perpetuity when you retire. You don't just get your retirement, you get the $12,000 bonuses. Banks give you discounts on your mortgages. Society affords you. You have all type of powers, authority that the average citizen don't have. You have a lot of responsibility. That's why society affords you the respect that you get from society. That's why when something happens, you got 48 hours. That's why it's so hard to convict a cop for doing something. Because society puts you on the perch because of the responsibilities that you have. So don't complain when we want you. When we call you, we want you there. When we want your help, we expect you to arrest dangerous suspects. We expect you to arrest people who spitting on us. And that ain't even a felony, as if nobody can have hepatitis or HIV. It should be attempted murder when somebody spits on us. But we have the expectation that when we call the NYPD, they are going to be there. We have an expectation, as if it's crazy, that if I'm getting assaulted, you will rescue me, he or her, come to our aid, and apprehend this individual who's trying to maim, hurt, or assault us. But they have no respect for us. But we have a union that has no respect for us. That's what's going on here. This contract is evidence of that. Canelo Gomez's presence on the property is evidence of that. So this man gonna go the next 18 months, walked around as if nothing happened? Now he's just a goon. He's just a goon now. Now if he go in the crew room where it's 2 or 3 people, they should be concerned, right? This guy just assaulted somebody, and the union didn't give a damn. The union didn't give, not only did they not give a damn, they buckled down. That's a fact. This is where we at today. And we're going to have to, and everybody's going to have to come together. And that means all these folks, and brothers and sisters, remember who's out here fighting. Forget them WhatsApp groups and all that. I got nothing against the WhatsApp groups. I don't. I like to see our brothers and sisters get along. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get involved in all that, but I don't really. But I like to see our brothers and sisters getting along. There's a lot of love in a lot of them groups. And but a lot of our brothers and sisters, we got fake activists out here too. They ain't doing nothing. They're not speaking out. The same people that's going to come around looking for your signature in a few months. They're not fighting. Remember who's out here. And again, remember the officers who didn't take a stand. Remember the officer who allowed Canella to remain in office. Remember the officers who didn't say nothing, who took no position, who had the morals had nothing to do with nothing. They had no sense of moral, no sense of right and wrong. Who was scared to take a position. Who was scared to do the right thing. Was scared to step up for us. Who's stepping up for us? Who cares about us? Can you feel the care? You know when somebody cares about you? These politicians can't fool you. A doctor, you go to the doctors can't fool you. You with a spouse sometimes, your spouse can't fool you. You don't love me no more. We old enough to know what, that old saying with Forrest Gump, we know what love, we know what care is, and we know what love is. Are you supposed to love us? Are you supposed to protect us? They're supposed to fortify us with people who are going to fight for us. RTO, there's people out there fighting. You feel safe? You think when management say call the union, they love that. Like going to the doctor and say take 2 aspirins and call me in the morning. Call your union. They get off with that. They get a thrill from that. Call your union. You know why? Because the union ain't going to do nothing. Who's going to do something? Who? It's 13-14. Who's going to step up? Who's going to stand up for you? Who's going to advocate for you? Who's going to do that? Y'all feel protected? Y'all feel advocate? Y'all feel safe with this union? I'm seeing some of the G2s. I said it before. Write your own G2s. Go to the vet. Less is more. Go to 2 Broadway and handle it then. Keep it to bare minimum. Because I'm telling you, I've written G2s for some of your reps right now. I've written G2s for them. There's 2 or 3 people, by my estimation, who can write G2s in this union. Don't let them write your G2s. You crazy? You got, some of y'all got discipline coming based on the G2s that these so-called reps have written for you, but don't blame them. Your leadership plucked them off the road to protect you. And they only plucked them off the road because they bow down and they kiss the ring. And they don't have no opinion. Just like they didn't have no opinion about what Canelo Gomez did. These are the people they want. They don't give a damn if they protect you. They don't give a damn if they stand up for you. That's a fact. Don't believe me? Look, if you're working right now, later on, call your union rep over the holidays. If you can find one. They don't care about us. This union, this leadership is corrupt. And RTO and stations, we got to do something about it. We can fight for ourselves. At least we know that we have our best interests at heart. Our best interests at heart. At least we know that. At least we know. Why would I get in the car with a drunken driver and trust him? I can drive. I'm good. We're going to protect you. The union got your back. The union will give you parties. The union will feed you. The union will give you prizes and all that to keep you pacified. The union don't give a damn, and they have proved that. They're doing this contract negotiation, doing the mass membership, and by the representation that we have out there. And the last but not least, that we have somebody like Canelo Gomez, somebody who assaulted a member, somebody who was in New Orleans during the contract negotiation, somebody who took a picture the day after he assaulted our brother, somebody who was intimidating and threatening members long before Bedford Park, somebody who has no respect for this membership, somebody that said he's going to be transparent and bring change to RTO. What's new about RTO? What's new about RTO? First time, no, to our brothers and sisters in the station, no disrespect. Has nothing to do with you. You deserve $3, $5 more than you getting. But for the first time, station agents makes more than conductors. What's new in RTO? For the first time, we have a VP who assaulted a member. For the first time, we have union reps calling the cops on members. Remember how quick they got rid of Kia? Y'all remember that? Remember how quick Kia was gone? And this brother's walked around after he assaulted an activist, someone, opposition, someone who put him in office. We like I said before, we all have friends that we want to, people that we grew up with, came up with, that impact our lives. And Tremel has impacted his life. He came to Tremel, asking Tremel, can he come to Progressive Action? Tremel took him in. Tremel mentored him. And this is what he did. And this union ought to be ashamed of itself, because there's no accountability. We looking up to this union for what? Where's that leadership? Show me, what have Richie Davis did to show us some leadership? Where's the leadership? And for the propaganda group, Drummond go out there and Drummond stand up for the members and stand up for what's right and wrong. Stands up. And I'm willing to lose my job. I'm willing. Not playing about that. I don't go out there. I do my job and I stand up for what's right. And I stand up for my brothers. They still call me all times of night. And I'm there. You know why? Why should I take the calls right now? I'm tired. I'm not a rep no more. I'm in my pajamas, my footsies, watching Netflix. And they calling me. You know why? And God bless you, brothers and sisters. They say, Drummond, we know you're not in the union no more, but I can't find nobody. Thank God you answered the phone. And that just don't go for me. That goes for all the fighters. That goes for everybody that picks up the phone when someone calls who's not released by the union, and the so-called officers that are so-called dedicated to our well-being and protecting us and advocating us. But the truth of the matter is, my brothers and sisters, they don't care. They don't care. They've been in power so long. Power corrupts absolutely, that they think they can do what they want. And the truth of the matter is, they do what they want. And they doing what they want. And they don't even try to, you in politics, you got to be humble. It's just that if I don't like you, you got to act like there's a certain amount of respect that you got to show your constituents. Let's put it that way. Right? Your brothers and sisters. They say brothers and sisters. They don't mean it when they say brothers and sisters. They just really start saying brothers and sisters again because I say brother. They don't mean it when they say, but look in their eyes. No, look at their eyes with such, like you say, somebody say, I love you. At our age, at certain ages, no, you don't. Stop saying it. I despise somebody to say they love somebody they don't. But the union says they care, brothers and sisters, my brother. Look in their eyes when they say it. Action speaks louder than words. Where's the actions? What do they do, or they've been doing that convey that they really care about us? But try to manipulate us with propagandas, pictures, and videos. And trying to steer the narrative. And going to talk to the probationaries. Taking their members to crew, bring 12 of them and get 5 or 6 people from a bond in the crew. They got their supporters, I guess. This contract, they gave us nothing. They did to say that they care about the retirees, they couldn't. If our brothers and sisters who was with us during the pandemic in 2020, 221, 22, and since retired, and they not getting none of that $4,000, them peanuts that we getting, that joke, essential work. They got us essential. What? They don't give a damn about us. They don't give a damn about us. And we work in the equivalent of a coal mine. Silicone dust is in coal mine. It's PTSD. It's noises that they deal with in coal mine. Like we deal. Them trains. We're riding them trains for 30 years, 25 years, 20 years. Killing our hearing, killing our ears. Our pulmonary system, our breathing, all that is, yes, it's going to be affected. And I say it again. What we talking about right now before I go is plain and simple, is our lives. Is if we want to live to be 65 and 70. I say 65. People live to be 90 now. More people living longer now in this period of time that in the history of civilization. Not transit workers. Not us. Not us. I say it all the time. CRCs, all we see. No, I don't think it's any profession. We lost 2 train operators, three of our brothers and sisters this year. I lost count. This is our lives. We have a very dangerous profession. If COVID never came, we had our own COVID because we work in a toxic environment. We can't, the union, they never spoke about our health. We trying to stay alive. Look at everybody that dies around us. It ain't a coincidence. You can, right now, if you want, it would be perverse, but for the sake of this conversation, if you went to every crew room and just took the obituaries, you have a stack this high. And none of them will be old folks. They 55, 57, 60s. And we always say, what do we always say? We just saw this person. I just saw them. They just retired. I was just with them. And we treated the way we treated. Stressed out. Disrespected. By managers talked to any kind of way. A company that don't hold its managers accountable. A union that don't hold management accountable. And what's the consequence of that? We dying. We dying. And then when we get hurt, they fire us. When we go on comp, the IMEs are calling us back 6 months now, 8 months. Ain't even giving us the full year. They starving us to come back to work. Their lawyers are going to court saying that we are frauds. When we got hurt on their trains, in their yards, in their barns, on their platform, and their lawyers are calling us fraud. The same people they were saying calling heroes. Saying that we are brave and courageous. They trying to fire. And the union does not. The union will never talk about our housing. We got nowhere to live. All these buildings going up, we can't get one of them. They can't allot 3% for for city workers, 10% for city workers, or maybe some for us who kept New York moving during the worst pandemic in 200 years since the bubonic plague. And we got nowhere to live. That's not something that the union should. This coat money we paying, that ain't something that politicians should be talking about. Us having someplace to live. Our brothers and sisters living in basements, renting rooms, going out of town, missing their families. Some of our brothers and sisters don't go home for 2 weeks. They get exhausted going back and forth, going out of town. And then got to worry about discipline if they're late. If they miss a train. And this crew office don't get there. You got a brother I talked to the other day. He says he has to leave his house at 1 o'clock in the morning. If he wants, because the last train out of his town is 1 o'clock. This is what we dealing with. We dealing with brothers and sisters who spend 6-8 hours a day traveling to work. Both ways. The union care about that? The union care about the fact that they got a membership that has nowhere to live? And all they can say, and then they try to do all these commercials and this and that they're doing so much, the mass media, that they're doing so much. If you're doing so much, you don't have, we'll tell you if you're doing enough for us. We don't need you to tell us you're doing everything for us. But this, brothers and sisters, this is where we at right now. We have no union. This union don't give a damn. This union is a debacle. This union is a disgrace. And Canella is the poster man for this union. He's a disgrace in Nikes or whatever he wears, whatever shoes he wears. He symbolizes the corruption of this union. He's symbolizing how apathetic this unions is to our concerns. So they disrespected us with this $4,000, and the union let them, because union had no interest in fighting for our hazard pay. That's a fact. And this contract is a joke. Wasn't no givebacks, because there was no negotiation. Maybe they should have came to us and said, yo, well, they want this and they want that. Maybe the membership said, well, what are they giving up? Okay. That's a fair exchange. Okay, we like that. There wasn't none of that. They don't care enough about us to talk to us about the contract. And they don't have enough respect for us not to try to manipulate us and shove this bad contract down our throats. They did nothing. I won't speak to other departments. They did nothing for stations, and they did nothing for RTO. And it's at the height, the epitome of disrespect for Canella to mention them cameras. It was the epitome of disrespect that Canella in any way represented us during the negotiation. And he was still around. This is where we are. We're going to continue to be disrespected. And we're going to continue to get sick. Because we're harboring resentment and stress from a union we want to respect, but we can't. And management that don't give a damn about us. And disrespectful supervisors. Like Chris Johnson at Ditmars. And perverts. And bullies and cowards. Like McClendon at 179 on the F line. And I get some more managers to name. And I'm saying these managers. Dimitri Kresko, what you doing, Senior VP? You got these names. You investigating them? You looking at the G2s that was written against these supervisors? And brothers and sisters, stop letting them. Stop standing around and letting our sisters get disrespected by these men. And all of us. If somebody won a G2, give them a G2. This can't go on. This cannot go on. This culture and this legacy of disrespect cannot go on. And Transit, what you waiting for? What you waiting to happen? What are you waiting to happen? How much can anybody take? How much can anybody take? And it's going to blow up. Because we don't have no union buffering. We don't got no union coming to our rescue. That's a fact. Richie Davis is a debacle. He's a debacle of a president. He's a debacle. And you know why he don't give a criminal? They the same people. They're the same people. So what we got to do, and what we got to figure out, how are we going to protect ourselves? That's what we got to figure out. We don't have a union that we can trust. We don't have a union that we can respect. And they show us that every day. The DoorDash, for DoorDash and Grubhub and all that, they get more money. Amazon, they stood up. Because they have to. It's get to a point, we have no choice. You're going to die. You're going to get terminated. You're going to get days that you don't deserve. You got people hovering over you. You got supervisors disrespecting you. You got a union that put anybody who is not protecting us, and they're taking our money. And they're taking our money. And they telling them, they ain't working at the behest of their membership. They're doing what they want. Canella is evidence of that. What they did to the station agents is evidence of that. They got to do more work, and they kicked them out the booth. It's evident that we got a union that has no respect for us. But all I'm going to say is this. Don't believe me. Believe your eyes. That's it. I know I wrote a lot of stuff. I didn't even read from half of this. Everybody be safe. Watch yourself. Listen, protect yourself. And I'm saying, if you protect yourself, don't let nobody put no hands on you. Don't let nobody put no hands on you. You got a right to protect yourself. Because the police ain't going to protect us. Management don't give a damn. And again, I'm going to protect myself, and I ain't going on that platform by myself. I'm not doing it. I won't do it, and you shouldn't do it. Safety resolution form. And then after you do safety resolution form, they cut your time. Let them cut your time. You got to take a stand. They don't give a damn about CIS at Bedford Park. Transit don't give a damn. Because Transit would be calling for them officers' head. And the union wouldn't rest until they knew that these cops were disciplined. And their names was given to press, and they was put out in the public and humiliated and disrespected and scared for their jobs. Like CIS was. But CIS was scared for her life. So we got to step up. I'm just, at this point forward, I'm just going to be redundant and repeat what I said. I'm voting no to that contract. That's what I do with this contract. Everybody be safe during this holiday. Enjoy it. And be safe out there. And God bless you. And y'all take care.